What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. I have a special treat for you guys. We've got the 390 on the run stand and she is ready to fire up. And if you guys don't remember this 390, this is the same one that I got from the How to Decipher a Ford FE video, which was about 2 years ago. And at the time, I think I paid like $650 for this engine. I have no information on it if it runs good or not. The seller did not know any information at all. The only thing that I went by is that I saw that it had this Edelbrock Performer intake on it, which in itself is about $400, and then it did have the Pertronix ignition on there as well, which is another $100. So I think, as far as parts goes, $500 in parts, I think that it was worth it. So I took a gamble and I bought it, and I've already turned it on, and there is one problem with the engine that we need to address before we throw this thing in the galaxy. But let me fire this thing up and then we'll talk a little bit about what the plan is for this 390. Let's do it. Alright, so as we can see, we've got some oil, well, a major a major oil leak, and I'm pretty sure this is the reason why this engine was taken out. I think it was supposed to be fixed, the rear main seal, but I guess time got in the way, or they just couldn't get to it, and it just sat. I mean, the engine sounds really good, as you heard. Hopefully you guys could hear it good on the video there, but it does have that major leak that we really need to address. And I've already looked under behind the plate there, right under where the crank is at, and you can see that it's the rear main seal. But this is what's really cool about having a run stand, is that we are able to fix this thing before we get it in the galaxy. Because imagine if you're just putting engines in and you're trying to figure some problems out, some leaks, and you're gonna have to crawl under there or take it out, and it's just a huge pain. But luckily it's on the run stand, and this run stand is very modular. I'm able to just take a lot of it apart. I'm gonna take the whole bell housing off with this rear arm here, with these two bolts, and then I'll be able to see behind where the flex plate is at. So we're gonna see and find out and make sure that it's the rear main seal. I've already got the seal and I've already got the oil pan gasket, so it doesn't hurt to be prepared. But let's take this thing apart and let's check it out. There we go. The whole thing just comes off. see. Put this down here. Get this over here. And now we can get a clear picture right there. So, that's a really hard one to tell. Okay guys, so here we go. So this is the clue right here that tells me that this is the rear main seal, and you can see it leaking from the top. So I was about to take off the pan and drain it so I can inspect the gasket, oil pan gasket, to see if there was some sort of break or something, but this right here clearly shows that it's leaking from the rear cap, the rear main seal. And I can't get in there, but you can clearly see it's leaking from the top right there. So there you go. It looks like someone had already replaced the seal. You can see some silicone right there, so hopefully we don't look at a scary situation when we open this thing up. But there you go. We got a rear main seal to do. There's no metal shavings on there, so that's a good sign. Oh, there we go. Bam. Oh, looks like it had a little bit of water in there. Man. So as you can see, the gasket looks pretty good. There's a lot of sealant on here, but it does have some water in here, as you can see, and then it's also had like some debris right there on the bottom, but not too bad. I think I'll be able to clean it up and reuse that oil pan, but it looks pretty good underneath, as you can see. That looks to be kind of new, but let's keep going. Gotta take this one. Oh, there we go. Okay, here is one. It's pretty dry. Let's look at the other one. Here's the other one, and this one is dry as well. And now to pull the cap. Almost there. Okay. There we go. Ooh, that thing is worn. Holy cow. And it's it looks like it has the, is that a rope seal? Yeah, it looks like a rope seal on there. Whoa, that thing is really worn. Holy cow. Here we go. So it is the original rope seal on this thing, as you can see. That's why they call it a rope seal, because it's like a rope. Now we gotta get this thing nice and clean, and we'll talk a little bit about what the options are here. So to do the rear main seal, I picked up this tool, which is called Sneaky Pete by Lyle. There's a part number, and it's basically just like a cork, where you use it to pull out the old one, and then you use the wire there to put back the new one on there. So we'll see how this works. Alright guys, so I tried to use the tool here to cork this thing in and trap the seal and just pull it all out, but unfortunately my seal was just way too worn out and it did not want to come out. So I basically had to get these picks to basically just take it all apart piece by piece, which is just a pain. It took me a couple hours to get it all out. The whole seal is just disintegrated, but there you go, it's all out, it's ready to go, it's clean. And yeah, I wasn't able to use the tool, unfortunately. Let me know if you had good luck with this one. And you're supposed to clip the seal at the end of here and then fish it out, pull it in and fish it out through here. But I don't even think this little alligator clip fits in the hole there, so I don't know. I guess I was just not able to use it. So let me know if you were able to use it. But let's head on over to the cap and get this thing prepped so we can install it. Alright, I've got the seal ready to go, and there's a really good video from My Vintage Iron where he shows how to install this thing perfectly. And if you can see, there's a lip on this seal right there, so that side goes towards the engine, towards the inside of the engine, and you need to offset it. So Velcro gives you this little paper here, and we need to offset it like this. And on the top of the cap, we're gonna do the opposite side over here. So in the video, he puts a little bit of sealant right here on the cap, some on the sides, and I've got the Motorcraft TA31 right here, which is my favorite sealant, and this thing, it works really good. So there you go, and nothing left to do but to put this thing back on. It kind of pains me to put the bearings back on because check that out, they're pretty worn out, and I'm starting to get the picture here, and I'm pretty sure that what happened is that because of the leak here, the engine was running low on oil, and it pretty much got worn out, as you can see right there. So I know it pains me to see it. I really wish I could rebuild the engine, but for now we're just gonna have to make do with what we have and try to try to run this thing for as long as I can until I can get that 428 going. But there you go, let's get this thing installed and let's finish it. Alright, here's the update. As we can see, the seal it's almost in there. I tried to put it in there with all of the mains torqued up the way it was, but it was just impossible. So you will have to loosen up your mains. I loosened all of them up except for the front ones because I need to take the oil pump off right there, but I think that gave me enough clearance to start wiggling it right in there. So just gonna keep going and pushing this thing in there. Alright guys, I've got the cap in and I'm driving the pins in now, and these go towards the inside because it pushes those end seals out so that it can lock in all that oil so there's no leaks. So just be careful with these pins because if you hit them the wrong way, they start to bend. They're not that strong. So I'm gonna drive these in and torque all of these out, and that should be it. That should be the install for the rear main seal. Let's do it. Alright you guys, we have everything back together, and we're gonna go ahead and put on the headers. These are from FPA. I'll link up the video if you guys haven't seen it. But we're gonna put some exhaust on this thing so that when we start it up, we don't get the neighbors angry because it's pretty loud with no exhaust. So let's put these things on and let's turn it on. Alright guys, everything is back together, and I had to put on another set of valve covers because it did not have the PCV system on there, and it definitely needs this because you're going to build up a lot of pressure on your crankcase there. So we had to switch that out, but she's ready to go. Let's try it out. Hopefully no leaks. Pretty quiet. There you go. Dang, this thing is it's not too shabby. Not too shabby. So what is the plan with the 390? Well, I'm going to leave that up to you guys. And there is two options to choose from. Option number one is to keep this 390 as is. Do not change anything on it. I'll just try to tune it as best as I can and just get this thing off the stand and put it in the Galaxy. That would be the fastest way to get this car on the road. Or option number two would be to get the whole tri-power setup on this 390 and get it installed. The intake, the three carburetors, the linkages and all that, get it all set up on the run stand and get it ready for the Galaxy. So I don't really know which way to go. Option one obviously is a lot faster. This thing's pretty much ready to go. We can just drop it in, or we can take a little bit longer time and switch everything out and get the whole tri-power setup on this thing. That'd be really cool, but that's gonna take longer time for me to get this thing on the road. So let me know in the comments below which option you decide on, option one or two. The ones with the most likes or votes, that's gonna be the way that I'm gonna go. So I'm just super excited for this thing, however, because man, the leak is fixed. As we can see, no leak on there. This thing was leaking really bad, so we got that thing fixed and this thing is running really good. So no more 428 for now. We're gonna go with the 390. This is one that I've had for a while now, and the 428 will be fixed. The crack will be fixed, just not right now because that is a lot of cash to repair the cracks. But this is what we're gonna go with for now. So let me know what your option is, and I will see you guys on the next one. Boom.